Foodborne illness for the elderly is a more serious issue than even for young people. They have to worry about the same bacteria, virus, parasites, and the like. But older people may be more likely to leave their food out for a while. We know that it's very dangerous, that between 45 degrees and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, bacteria can grow very fast. If at noon there were 10 bacteria on a food, just 5 hours later, by the end of the day, there's already 10,000 bacteria because of the way they double over time. And viruses cannot be cooked away. Sometimes bacteria can be killed in the cooking process, but viruses can more easily survive cooking, and of course there's no way to detect whether or not a food is infected with a virus. And this has a special impact on older people because the immune function has declining function, as we mentioned briefly earlier. There's these T cells and B cells in the immune system that identify a virus and react to it when they see it. And in older people, there's fewer memory T cells that aren't already assigned to a specific pathogen. So for a new pathogen that the body has never seen, the body has a much slower response in older people. And so if it's a familiar pathogen, the body may respond very well. But if it's a brand new pathogen that's never been encountered before, older people have a much slower response. And the B cells that assist with the T cells in the immune response, we also find a decline with aging. The intestinal tract undergoes some inflammation. About half of the people that have been studied, we find some form of inflammation, and this decreases the functioning of the absorption. And we also know that using antacids can block gastric output, and this increases the risk of infection. Diabetics have a higher risk of being affected by foodborne illness. Their immune system tends to be a little bit more compromised. We know that about nearly 1 in 5 older people are diabetic, and if their blood sugar is not well under control, even a small amount of bacteria could have an adverse effect on them. And chemotherapy, of course, for people with cancer suppresses the immune system dramatically, and so a very small amount of bacteria could cause tremendous problems for them. And we know that prolonged use of antibiotics suppresses immune function, so we know that to be sick already increases the risk, perhaps, of being sick. We know that a lot of bacteria are changing over time. They're evolving and becoming more drug resistant, and that's become increasingly difficult for doctors to deal with. There's something called chronic sequela, where a pathogen can cause a long-term health problem. So it makes you sick for a little while, but you never fully recover. And so examples of this are arthritis, autoimmune thyroid disease, inflammatory bowel disease, kidney failure, encephalitis, and meningitis. These are all things with very long-term impacts on older people.